Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach. We know that helping your clients become the best and healthiest versions of themselves isn't just about what they eat or coming to the gym a few hours a week. We, as gym owners and coaches, have to focus on a holistic approach, looking at support systems, stress management, sleep, mindset, lifestyle, and of course, exercise and nutrition. I'm your host, Nicole Coyne, registered dietitian and founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. I'm also the author of The Basics of Nutrition Coaching, CrossFit Preferred Nutrition course. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to make one step at a time to becoming the best nutrition coach and building an awesome habit-based coaching program. Today's podcast guests are Sherman Merricks and Blake Ruff. Sherman Merricks owns a CrossFit gym that he's owned for over 10 years called Dynasty CrossFit, and Blake has previously owned 2 different CrossFit gyms and has since sold them to focus on the company that they started together called Lasso. These guys have mentored over 1,000 CrossFit and fitness gyms to increase their revenue and profitability. They both are super passionate about sales and marketing, and that is why they started Lasso. Lasso is a done-for-you company that helps you with paid advertising strategies so that you can make more money without increasing a ton of workload. They are also StoryBrand certified guides, so they use the StoryBrand framework to create effective messaging so that you can target your clients and actually help them understand how you can help them solve the problem that they're looking to solve. These guys are a wealth of knowledge related to marketing and paid advertising. I'm super excited for you to listen to today's podcast episode. We talk a lot about paid advertising, when you should do it, common mistakes, what to think about when you are starting paid advertising. Blake and Sherman are actually going to be at the Healthy Steps Nutrition Live Workshop, and they are hosting a half-day seminar on Sunday, diving deep into paid advertising. So make sure you tune into that. And if you are interested in signing up for the Healthy Steps Nutrition Workshop to learn more, click the link in the show notes. All right, enjoy this podcast episode all on paid advertising and marketing with Blake and Sherman. Blake and Sherman, welcome to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast.
Thank you very much. We're excited to be here.
Excited to be back. I'm excited.
Sherman, we have been going back and forth a lot recently regarding all the things you guys are planning on doing at the workshop, but I'm excited to just bring some knowledge to gym owners. There's so much confusion around marketing. I mean, let's be honest, we all 3 of us own gyms, and I can bet my life that none of us knew what marketing really looked like when we opened our gyms. We're like, hey, we're passionate about helping people. We're going to build these awesome facilities and help people. And then we're like, wait a second, we need to get people in our doors.
No, for sure. Like we've been in for a while, right? We're 10, 11 years in, and it's definitely changed, right? When we first started, we could get away with, hey, to sort of like Fight Club, don't tell anyone, show up. If you survive the workout, you're in, right? But now, like, it's no longer that way. Like, this is a real, like we're having real marketing dollars and plans that we have to put up against major corporations. So yeah, it's just totally different now than when we first started years and years ago, for sure.
You guys own a company called Lasso where you help gym owners really kind of cut through the noise when it comes to paid advertising. Because the truth is you can spend so much money and it go down the drain if you don't do this right. And you guys really help them understand how to convey effective messaging and marketing and how to do the whole paid advertising thing. I want to just give a high level overview. You guys are both StoryBrand certified guides. You went through that training, the knowledge. Sherman, you were actually mentored by Donald Miller, which is really cool. You guys have, such a great understanding of how to market effectively. How has that helped you guys be able to, build Lasso and in turn help a lot of gym owners with paid advertising?
Yeah, I'll let Blake start.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about this all day.
So yeah, I think gym owners first and foremost are kind of turned away from marketing just from over the years past of, this what they say, you know, the clickbait marketing and all that stuff. And we've really, from StoryBrand, taken away like writing copy that's geared to the client's problem, right? Like we never say free in our marketing. What we do is really try to talk about, hey, we understand what the client is going through. Here's how we're going to help you solve it. And here's the steps to take. And then here's the offer, right? Like gym owners are really turned away from the word offer now because of, you know, the gym launch days and stuff like that. But in actuality, it doesn't matter what you click on. Like I always talk about, like Whoop is 1 free month. That's an offer. We have to have something. And you guys do a great job at HSN. Like you talk about like the 90-day program for clients. And it's the same thing. Like you have to have something. You can't just say, come join our gym, right? Like that's, you know, like I was thinking about for this podcast, like people think, oh, well, the Google CrossFit near me. Well, there might be multiple CrossFit gyms. You still have to stand out amongst those people. It's not like Field of Dreams, just build it and they'll show up. So what we really do is try to take words and we write copy that's very seasonal, because all marketing is psychology and reversing it and saying, what does the client want? How can we put this into words so that they're going to take the actions and step to come into our gym? Sherman, anything to add on that?
No, I think you hit it on the head. And, you know, sort of to piggyback off what Nicole said, you know, being involved in StoryBrand, you know, I like to joke around. We actually were StoryBrand certified guides, right? Like we paid Nicole, so did you. We paid thousands of dollars to really learn what it meant to get good with words, basically. You know, there's a lot of people saying, oh yeah, I'm certified, and they went to like a 1 or 2 day workshop. It's totally different. And as you mentioned, I am very blessed to have the opportunity to be personally mentored by Donna Miller. And so obviously we are big on our copy and the image that we put out. That's why, you know, there's nothing wrong with people want to do certain things like 30 clients in 30 days and all of that stuff, but that's just not us, right? Like we're not that type of marketing company. So for us, I like to say we are more of your long-term strategic growth partners, right? Because you're looking for a quick fix, you're going out of business, or you don't have money, you can't work with us, right? Like we're totally okay not being able to work with everyone. We understand our pricing isn't cheap per se. You know, anyone that knows me knows that, hey, I don't want to be the cheapest in town. My gym is probably the most expensive in town. Not probably, it is. I know that. But I stand behind my service. And, you know, Nicole, like you said, you came to my gym recently for the first time, which is crazy. I can't believe that. We pride ourselves on our image, right? Like everything from the rowers to the walls to when you walk in to the cleanliness, there's a method to the madness, and we stand behind that in the gym and in Lasso as well. So, you know, when we're working with these clients, we're trying to really get to know them so that when we create this offer and the marketing that we put out, it really speaks to the folks that are going to come in and hopefully sign up eventually.
I love it. You know, I think part of the thing as gym owners is we, you know, throw something or like we need a lot of clients and you're just putting something out there. And then what happens is that 30-day program ends up having a minimal conversion rate to people that actually sign up and stick with you past 90 days, past a year. And they're constantly playing this vicious cycle of how do I get more leads? When in reality, if you're struggling with retention, you need to deal with that problem first before you dump any money into paid advertising. Have that solid front end offer. You know, you guys talk a lot and the HSN clients that use Lasso are super successful because we have this awesome front end offer that encompasses nutrition, fitness, accountability. People are signing up for that total transformation. Blake, what you were talking about a couple minutes ago, people are wanting that transformation. They're wanting something that's going to help them get to in all aspects, that holistic approach, not just a gym. They don't just need access. They don't need just coaching. Like they need support the other 23 hours of the day. And when you can build a solid front end offer, and then you have the correct wording and marketing around that, you're going to attract the people that aren't looking for the 30-day fix. Like those aren't your clients anyways. They're not going to sign up for your gym after the 30 days.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think like you mentioned, right? Like you have to have the systems and processes to make marketing work, right? Like, but all of us paid, you know, so many gyms that paid so much money for mentorship, and there's certainly a place for it, right? Like that's super crucial to have systems, but then we forget we have to grow afterwards. Like the systems don't make us grow, right? Like you have to have the systems to grow, but then you have to attract the leads. Like I said, like everybody thinks that everybody's going to show up, and that's not the case. There's too much competition. I mean, fitness space is one of the easiest entry points industries that there are. Like, I mean, Sherman started in his garage. I started in a 2,000 little studio per, square foot. That there's a ton out there. F45s, Orange Theories, Eat the Frog. Like you have to reach more than your organic reach these days. And without a marketing plan, you're slow, because there is attrition. There's always going to be attrition. You're slowly going to die.
Absolutely. So I want to, talking about dying, I want to talk about the common mistakes that people make around marketing. I mean, we definitely mentioned one, right? Like not having the right front end offer. And, we've nailed this thing on the head, but you really should, if you are looking to grow a nutrition program in a gym, I can 1000% say with confidence, you need a front end offer that encompasses nutrition, fitness, and accountability. You do not want to resell your clients later on nutrition after they're 30 days, 60 days, 90 days into their journey. Get them started, present them with that solid offer that is going to be that total transformation and help them in all aspects, nutrition, fitness, and accountability. But Sherman, what are the other mistakes that you guys see gym owners make when it comes to marketing in general?
Yeah. So I'll start off then. Blake, you sort of help me out because I know I'll forget something, but a big one, right? Like we don't even work with clients that don't have a CRM, right? There's countless times we talk to clients, they'll be like, hey, I don't even know what a CRM is. And there's nothing wrong with that. You should know, but it is impossible to basically turn on the faucet and then you have your leads go into a Google sheet or they go into one person's email. Like that is the thing that is absolutely detrimental to long-term growth. Even if you aren't running paid marketing, people that don't have a CRM, I like to say, hey, you're just not serious because you can't possibly follow up with each lead 10 times. You can't possibly keep up with every single person comes into your email and get back quick enough, because what if they're at lunch, they need a response quickly, but you're coaching a class. Now you're trying to get back with them. Now they're busy. Like, so a CRM is a big one. We don't even work with people that don't have a CRM. We have our own CRM. There's plenty of options out there. Obviously, we pride ourselves on the wording, the text, all of that stuff. With us having created all of our wording and text, it was a valiant effort and it was 100 times more difficult and took longer than Blake and I thought, but it was definitely worth it because folks respond to the things that we send out, right? Because no one likes to think they're talking to a computer or an automation. No one likes that. So if you tell them right off the bat, hey, this is an auto text, your response rate is going to be low. So that's one. You have to have a CRM. Two, you need to have someone or multiple people in charge of responding to leads when they call, text, email. Like there needs to be someone dedicated to that. At my gym, I have someone that's in charge of our CRM. Like that's their thing. You're responding quickly as possible. If someone has questions, you're getting back to them because again, response time is key. Of course, it would be ideal if every single person that came in got a 30-second response. I'm not saying that, but it needs to be, 15 minutes to an hour, if at all possible. That's sort of the longest because people get busy. Right? People get busy. It's possible. Like someone could text me right now. And by the time I get off this podcast, it could be 6, 7 text threads down. And now I'm just trying to get to the most important one. And if you don't make the most important one, I may forget. And the same thing happens to the gym owner, right? Because so many people think, okay, well, this person came into my funnel. So obviously they just heard about my business. Now they want to pay me $200, $300, $400, $500 a month. That's not necessarily the case. Which is why Blake and I always sort of sniggle when people say, I only want qualified leads. Anyone that gives you their contact info, they're qualified. They have a problem. Now we have to figure out if we can solve it. Yes, finances have something to do with it. Anyone that knows me, I'm big on that, right? Like finances have something to do with it. However, people pay for what's important to them, right? Because again, we've all done this. Most gym owners have done this. You give someone a discount because you feel bad for them, sob story, they're great people, all of that. But then they come to the gym in new Lululemons or Metcons, or they go on vacation, or they pull up in a new truck. Well, you gave them a discount because you felt bad for them. They couldn't pay you, but they could pay Ford or Tesla or Nike. So people pay for what's important to them, right? All that to be said, you're about to get me on a soapbox. All that to be said, every lead, every person that comes in is not going to be willing to pay you. And that's okay. Like, that is okay. Blake, I'm going to let you get a couple because I could talk about that.
Yeah, I'll just be brief since you just went on a tangent there. But
come on.
I think to Nicole's point, right? Like, you have to have multiple offerings. You have to, if you're truly helping the client, you have to have something that is customizable to help the client, right? Like, you have to have a nutrition program. You should be doing personal training because that's the highest revenue source that you're going to be able to generate. So, and the biggest point, like, you have to charge what you're worth too, right? Like, you can't just be competing on price with people. Like you mentioned, some of the gyms we work with HSN, they're selling $800 a month packages. And they said before they worked with us, we've never had anybody pay over $180, right? Like, and it was just a mindset. And then on the flip side of that, right? Like, you have to be able to sell, because there's totally different of Susie's friend that, that comes to the gym 5 days a week and posts about you and shares every post and tells all her friends, and she brings in a friend. Susie sold her friend, and all you have to do is sign her up when she comes in the gym. These people that come to you do not have any trust or authority with you. You actually have to show them value. You have to listen to their problems, and you have to convey how you're going to solve their problem. Too many gyms talk about the gym and not the person sitting across from them.
I see that on websites all the time. And I know that's something you guys help gym owners with as well. But any gym owner listening to this, like, go check out your website. If your website front page is all about you and all the coaching staff and all the credentials, like, erase all of it and show some success stories, show some Google reviews that talk about how awesome you guys are and how you're helping people in your community. It is not about you. It is about the client. So I love that you just brought that up. Blake, I have a question for you. One of the things when you think about a sales funnel, which for most gym owners, like, that's a new topic altogether, we think about emails, right? And I know you guys write emails, which is great. How do you recommend integrating, like, automated text in there though, too? Because I know, like, emails get lost so much. How do you guys talk about integrating text messages?
Yeah. So you think about it, right? 100% of text messages are going to be seen. Right? Like, they're going to be seen. 10%, like I always say, but email's so important. I mean, StoryBrand talks about it all the time. Like, I always tell people, if I ever need a Bed and Bath & Beyond 20% coupon, I guarantee it's in my email box. I've never unsubscribed, right? But it's still there. So, like, email is just email, even if they don't open it, the headline and the subject line has to be great. And it has to appeal to them, because even if they don't open, they're going to say, okay, I'm going to keep hearing from them. I'm going to keep hearing from it. And when they think of fitness, they're going to come to you. But when it comes to text messages, you want, in that first couple weeks, that first 14 days, you want to be in front of them every other day, right? Like, you don't want to bombard them and, like, be overbearing, but, like, you have to remember, these people said, I have interest. You're doing them a disservice by not contacting them. Like, so many, like, there's been clients of ours, like, oh, like, we don't want to text them. We don't want to bother them. Like, you're not bothering them. You're doing the opposite if you're actually not following up with them, right? So then you can start spanning out. After the first couple of weeks, they're not saying no yet. They're just saying not right now, right? Then, like, maybe it's once a week. Hey, I'm still thinking about you. I know you showed interest. What's holding you back? Like, conveying the problem, right? The problem is they showed interest. They haven't taken action. Hey, what's keeping you from getting started? Like, ask me any question under the sun. It's totally okay. But just empathize as a real person, right? Like, talk to them. Like, text messaging should come off as if you were having a conversation and caring about the person. As simple as that, right? Like, if all of your stuff is, like, very, like, salesy, it's going to turn people away. If you provide value, if one of your texts is just like, hey, you haven't taken action in a couple of weeks, that's okay. Here's a free guide to, 30-day meal plan. You're providing value, and they're going to say, they're going to thank you and trust you. And so that you're going to be the first choice.
I love that. Providing value in email content. I remember Donald Miller, when I went through the StoryBrand Guide certification, he's like, it's more important for them to see your name and your business name in their email on a regular basis than them actually, like, opening up, because it's just going to remind them, like, oh, Blake's there. Oh, yep. Sherman's there. And when they are ready to take action, they're going to think of you. So I love that you mentioned that.
Quick story on that. Sorry. Is Sherman. So I was talking about Sherman because I did a mentor call with his staff. They literally, while I was on the call, had a lady opt in 1 year later after she no-showed, the same date. It was like, April 23rd, and then April 23rd, the next year she signed up just because she was getting contact. And then I tell our clients, like, that's actually a better client because she said I wasn't ready yet. And she would have quit after a month or two, right? She kept reading, consuming content, doing her research, and she came back later.
I love that. I mention this often, but one of the things I personally love when clients I do the free calls with gym owners before they sign up. Many of them will say, "Hey, Nicole, I feel like I already know you." And the reason is because the emails that they got between when they booked their free call with me and when we got on the phone were simple emails with a video of talking about a problem they have and a tip to solve it. And there is a same place for that in your gym. If you are looking to help people with nutrition, fitness, and accountability, put a simple nutrition tip video in that funnel before they come up and meet with you in person. Show a success story, have a client testimonial saying how amazing your nutrition, fitness, and accountability program is. When they walk in your gym, have a wall of success so that people can see that you help your clients through nutrition, fitness, and accountability. So I think it takes time. Like, obviously you guys took a lot of time to writing those emails, but even putting hey, PS, check out this simple nutrition tip video where it's you guys giving them a tip so they can associate nutrition help with you and your brand. It's so much more powerful for people to see a video and start building that relationship, even if it's one way before they come in and talk to you.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, that's a must. I think that, again, sort of going back to what you're saying, Nicole, there's so much that goes into this. It is a lot of work on the front end. We love your content from HSN. You put a lot of time and energy into that, but it helps so many people. And then the folks that are serious about growing their nutrition business, like Dynasty CrossFit, we signed up with you, right? I guess for us, we were a little off because we pretty much jumped on the boat from day one. But nevertheless,
quick adapters.
But folks now, they have the opportunity to follow you for years. And that's why they get on the call and saying, I feel like, and you want people to feel the same way. I've had people say that in my gym. I make funny little videos because that's just my personality. And folks will come in and say, "Hey, that video you did, it was really funny. I know you're going to be fun to work out with," and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it's so funny because I don't coach in my gym anymore. But when I show up, people still know me just from the content that we put out. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
I think one of the things and we'll switch gears to the sales side, but I think one of the things with marketing, and I hear from gym owners and coaches sometimes oh, I don't want to put myself out there. You not putting yourself out there is doing a disservice to your business because people need to know you. People buy from people. And if you're putting yourself behind this wall so only the members can see how cool you are and how much you help people, you're missing out on other people that you could help and impact that you can have in your community. I want to shift gears a little bit though. The sales process. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from gym owners, "I hate sales. We just want to help people." Talk to me about sales when it comes to selling nutrition, fitness, and accountability packages.
Come on. This is my thing right here. You have to cut me off. I'm going to say it before we start talking. You just say, "Okay, we're going to stop." Because we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this in detail in Nashville. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, so here's the thing. When people say that, I know that one, they're new to sales, or two, they haven't really been trained properly, right? Because you saying that you don't want to seem salesy, which I get. They're thinking old school used car salesman. I'm going to sell you a lemon. I know it's going to break down 3 miles down the road. But the way that we have it set up now, which is what I tell anyone that I train on sales, my staff, they have it beat into them all the time. If you don't offer this person the correct service and or product, you're actually doing them a major disservice, right? I've made all the mistakes with the sales process, right? I remember early on, someone comes into the gym, I'm a little too afraid to offer them the $700 a month personal training when I know they're probably not going to like group, but I know I can get them with the group. They join group for 8 weeks and I think they're loving it. But then they come up to me and say, "Hey, Sherman, I love it here. I think your staff is great. The gym is beautiful, but I'm going to go down the road because I just hired a personal trainer. Like, oh, no. Like, hey, hold on. Like, we do personal training. Oh, I didn't even know that. Now, this was early on. So this is what happens so often. Folks don't offer the correct service and or product. And then this person doesn't get the best results. And then they end up quitting, right? All because this person was afraid to offer the best service. And we see it. I mean, we still see it a lot today. Like we hear it a lot from folks when they sign up. We're like, hey, you need to be telling them, even if they don't sign up for it, you need to be telling them about personal training, nutrition, and accountability first. Because even if they don't do it, now they know. They can't come to you in 3 months and say, hey, you sold me on this 90-day package that was all group, and I didn't get the results. When you tell them the correct product, the best one first, which is PT, nutrition, and accountability, that's the best one. I don't care how good of a trainer you are. It is best to do one-on-one plus group. I mean, one-on-one plus nutrition, right? That's the best way. That way, if they don't do it, they're not going to come to you and say in 3 months, say, hey, I did what you told me and I didn't get the results I wanted. You say, no, like, remember, Nicole, I told you that like the one-on-one option was a little better for you. Now, I understand it may be pricey, but like I can pretty much guarantee results on that, right? All the gyms listening. I don't even know the gyms that are listening, but I can pretty much guarantee if any gyms get someone in for 3 times a week personal training for an hour, 45 minutes, and had them doing personal nutrition, they can pretty much guarantee results, right? If someone did that for 90 days, like they can pretty much guarantee results. So this sales process, you need an amazing offer, and you have to be able to deal with objections, especially when you're running paid marketing. Again, the paid marketing is totally different than your best member bringing in her good friend who's been seeing her do this for the last 2 years on social media. These people that are cold leads, they don't necessarily know you. You don't have any authority with them. They don't trust you. So they just found out about you 2 days ago. They got in for an intro. Now you're sitting down with them for 20 minutes, showing them a gym preview when they've seen hundreds of gyms. So they don't need to see your bathroom and your dumbbells, but that's for another day. And then you basically tell them, hey, it's going to be, $400 a month to do this. Oh, I need to go home and think about it. Oh, now you don't know what to say because you haven't practiced on objection handling and all of that stuff. This is one of the big things that we really started sort of requiring for folks that work with Lasso, because everyone says they're good with sales. And at first it used to frustrate me because I'm like, why does everyone keep saying they're good at sales when they're trash at sales? Well, it's not really that they're trash at sales. They are good at sales. They just never run paid marketing. So they're used to doing sales from basically very, very hot leads, very warm leads. Of course, they're good at sales. Now, when these folks come in that don't know them or trust them, now they realize, oh, I don't know anything about sales. Like, I don't know anything. You hear that, well, I don't want to be pushy. Well, this is going to ask for a husband or all of that stuff. So, you need to have some objection handling skills. Definitely. You need to have an amazing offer. And you really need to make sure that you have the systems in place for follow-up. Because again, I'm a strong believer in just because someone doesn't sign up that day, right, doesn't mean they're never going to sign up. Yes, your percentages goes way down if they don't sign up the first time. But I would say for us, probably 40% of folks that end up leaving come back at some point. And it, like Blake said, it may take a year, but we're going to stay on top of them and communicate with them. And that's why, it sort of makes me laugh when folks say, well, if they're serious, they'll come back to me. Well, yes, I agree with you, but you have to stay in front of them for that year, right? Like that lady, exactly. Like that lady, we stayed in front of her for a year consistently via email and text, just checking on her, right? Most of those were automations, but when she decided it was time for her to make a decision, Dynasty was at the top of her mind. And that's what so many gyms are missing out on with that sales process. And I think that's the reason why gyms that work with Lasso and HSN do so well, because we sort of help them really dial in their offer. If it isn't great, then we help them with the sales piece. Now they get to really offer an amazing product. And no, everyone's not going to pay you $600+ a month. But the folks that do, they're going to be raving fans because they are paying a premium, and they're going to stick around long term, right? So yeah, it's a beautiful thing when they really dial it in and get it right.
No, I think I love all the things that you just said, handling objections and practicing. So many gym owners have never actually had sales training to understand how to handle objections. I know one of the things that you guys do with clients is role play with them and make sure that they just feel really confident with the cold leads. Because you guys have said this a couple of times, the clients that are referring people to is not really the same lead quality as the people coming in with paid advertising. It's really important that you have the skills to be able to sign up both of those types of people, because if you don't, then you are going to be wasting your money on paid advertising. You know, one of the things that we are going to be doing in Nashville, I'm super excited about. I was actually just at Donald Miller's house last weekend at an event. You guys are hosting an event at the Carriage House, which is connected with Story Brand. And it's going to be absolutely amazing, helping gym owners walk through this process with the sales and helping them understand how to effectively market their program to get people signed up for a transformation 90-day package.
Yeah. So this is, like we're very excited about this, right? I guess the cat will be out the bag when this comes out. Like, we're so fired up to host it at the Carriage House. People are like, what's the Carriage House? Goose Hill, whatever. You know, the folks that know that, you know, but if you don't know, all you need to do is basically come to the HSN conference, and then you have the opportunity to come to a half-day conference at the Carriage House on marketing and sales. But like, here's the thing. That weekend is going to be jam-packed with tactical things gym owners will be able to get back and implement, right? Like, that's one of my biggest things. You waste time and money and going somewhere and hurrah. And yes, you feel good. By the time you get back home Tuesday, you're like, man, that was great. And you implement nothing, right? So what we're going to do that entire weekend at the HSN conference, at our conference as well, we're going to give technical points so that folks can get back and start making money immediately, whether they work with us or not, right? Like, of course, it's better for them to work with us. But if they don't, they'll still have things that they can do to help their business grow, for sure.
Yeah, and I think the big thing too is, you know, when I had my gyms, is I was always scared of marketing because I was afraid that it wasn't going to look good on the business, right? And I think the big thing, and we're going to give you marketing that is going to not only just make you proud of your marketing, but it's going to generate the clients that you want. It's going to increase the quality of leads, and ultimately it's going to make you more money, right? Because we all want to be proud of the message that we're putting out there.
Awesome. Well, I'm super excited. The live workshop is going to be so much fun. We have some amazing speakers. We've gathered some companies that we work with that we trust. I know you guys work with Push Press really closely. We love those guys over at Push Press. They're going to be helping out CrossFit Training, is sending someone CrossFit Health, the CrossFit affiliate team. Like, we have such a jam-packed weekend. And, you know, some gym owners have never been to a live event before beyond going to a competition. It is a different experience. Every gym owner leaves excited and motivated because you've connected with other people who are invested in, have dedicated their lives to helping other people transform their lives. And you leave with different ideas and practical tips to help you build your business and level up your business the next day or that day in that minute. If you send someone who's at home, the tips to implement. So super excited to have you guys on board to help support that. I would love for each of you, one tip each as we wrap up this podcast to increase efficiency for gym owners related to sales, marketing, converting leads to clients. One tip for each of you. I know it's probably tough to just pick one.
All right, I'll go first. I'll give one. Train or have your staff trained on sales. Everyone. I understand. I hear the excuse, my coaches don't sell. Well, that's your fault, right? Like, all of my coaches sell. Anyone that works with me, they're going to sell. Now I am going to train them. I'm going to train them well. So train your staff on sales. It is a game changer when everyone on your staff can sell, because they're going to be selling folks that, just train your staff on sales. That's my one. I'm going to stop. Train your staff on sales.
Yeah, I think mine will be super practical that you can implement today is on your social media, tell more stories. Highlight your clients and tell about their successes. The 3 questions I always use is where they started, what their perception was, and where they are now. And if you do those 3 things, I guarantee people relate to it and they'll hit you up because it sounds like the person they want to become.
I love that. And you guys are actually on a panel. Funny you brought that up. Telling compelling stories using the story brand framework is one of the panel discussions that you guys are going to be a part of on Friday of the Healthy Steps Nutrition Live Workshop. So if you're not telling any stories, if you haven't captured any stories, that panel alone will help you gain traction and get more leads and build a more successful business, because that is a key piece of building a successful business. You guys, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. I'm so excited to see you in September at the Healthy Steps Nutrition Live Workshop. I'm even more excited about now this additional day that we've added on, talking about the sales process and telling compelling stories in more in-depth way, and just a way for gym owners to connect with each other for a second day and apply all this information. So thank you guys for all that you do. And thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to be here.
Thanks for having us. See you soon for sure.
I hope you enjoyed that episode with Blake and Sherman. I've known these guys for quite some time. Sherman's actually one of the first gyms that signed up with HSN mentoring back in 2015 when we launched. So I've had a really amazing time watching their gym grow, and then them exponentially grow with this company, helping so many more gyms with paid advertising. It is such a foreign language. We always say, like, I am not the expert in paid advertising, but Lasso is for sure. So if you are looking for help with paid advertising, definitely contact these guys. You can click the link in the show notes and get their contact information. Also, just a reminder, they will be presenting at the Healthy Steps Nutrition Live Workshop. They have a half-day seminar connected to our workshop, which is in Nashville, September 16th and 17th. They are hosting a half-day on the 18th on Sunday. So if you're looking for more information about that, make sure you click the link in the show notes. We are selling out of the Healthy Steps Nutrition Live Workshop. There are only 200 seats. We have sold over 50% of the tickets at this point. So if you're looking to join us in Nashville, make sure that you lock in your spot as soon as possible. Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and we'll see you back here next week.